and today I will be talking about Saturn Return. Let's get straight to it. Cut the shit. Saturn Return, by definition, I'll give you the definition, then I'll tell you what I think Saturn Return is. Okay. A Saturn Return in astrology is a moment when the planet Saturn returns into the same astrological position it occupied at a person's time of birth. Now, Saturn Return is when shit hit the fan and get shitty. So that I think that because shit should be happening. Okay, I'm not gonna sit here and sugarcoat it. Stuff be going on and it be crazy. Okay, and it be scary and spooky. I'm not gonna lie to you. That does depend on what house is in, what sign is in, and your whole full chart, your birth chart. So you do need to know your time of birth. That is very important in pinpointing what sign is in and what planet is in and what house is in, because that will tell you. So my Saturn return, I'm 30 years old currently, and my Saturn return is still kind of happening, but eventually it's going to go into Aries, and then I'll be out of my first Saturn return. Yay! So mine was in my 9th house in Pisces, and the 9th house is about like spirituality and like, you know, travel, religion, higher education, stuff like that. I see that because my faith was tested a lot, and you know, I got into a lot of spirituality and learning about, you know, myself and traveling. I just recently moved to Philadelphia from living with my family my entire life. I'm now on my own for the first time, and that is kind of what Saturn will do to you. I will give advice, okay? So the first thing I will say is know your chart, know your birth chart, know the planets, know the houses, know and fully indulge yourself in astrology, because that will help you know what's going on through your Saturn return, because it's not just the Saturn return, but it's also full moons, this moon, that moon, his moon, her moon, all y'all. You need to know everything that you can possibly know about astrology. That will let you know what's happening, why it's happening, and how you can process it better. And I will say is just to surrender to the process, because if you go against the grain gonna scratch your ass up. Okay. To surrender to the process. Okay, I know it's scary, I know it's spooky, okay, but you have to let go, because the more you try to control, the more Saturn will show you don't control a motherfucker. Third thing I will say is to use application. You're learning these lessons so that you can stop the crap and get with the program. All right, so you need to cut the shit and get with the program. Stop going against the grain. Stop. Why does this keep happening? The same thing keep happening because you're not using application. You're not learning the lessons, getting the knowledge and acquiring the knowledge, and then using what you've learned. You just acquiring all this stuff. You just know all this stuff, and you ain't did nothing about it to stop that pattern from happening. That's Saturn's theme is discipline. It's the father. Hello. That's my 3 things that I will say will tremendously help you. Another thing I will say is to learn about shadow work. Shadow work is how you work on your internal everything, your belief system, unconscious, subconscious, all of what's going up in that head. You will learn about yourself, the uncut, raw, deep truth about yourself, and the things that you've learned in childhood that were wrong and were bad and disgusting things, that everything that's going up in your mental. Shadow work will get in there and you're going to figure some stuff out. The second thing is self-concept. Self-concept is just the concept of self. What do you think about yourself? What are you telling people? What are you telling yourself? What are you doing? Basically, those are the tools that tremendously helped me. I learned about Saturn return halfway through my Saturn return, and yeah, the earlier you learn about this stuff, the better and the smoother that your process will be. If you want to know about the themes of what happened in my Saturn return, Basically, I was 27 years old. I got into a relationship with a Pisces. I wouldn't say it was a real relationship because it was a situationship, okay? It was bullshit from the start. Because my self-worth was low and how I thought relationships worked from my unconscious and subconscious beliefs about myself, it played out. I got addicted to drugs, addicted to alcohol. It took me a while to get off of that because of that person. And then around like 29, my grandmother passed away. My grandmother was a staple in my life, of which I knew I can always come back to. That's another thing that Saturn likes to do, is to take away your comfortability. That's just the truth. Whether that's a person, a thing, a house, a car, kids, that you have to determine that in your birth chart, and that'll tell you the themes. Mine was just my grandmother. My grandmother passed away. That tremendously sent me into a dark night of the soul. If you don't know about dark night of the soul, baby, go on and research these things, okay? Do a deep dive, because I'm telling you, developed anxiety, insomnia, and all this other crap because of what I was going through, because I didn't want to surrender to the process. Going against the grain, now I can't sleep. In and out of the hospital, thinking I have a brain tumor, thinking nothing was wrong with me. I was not surrendering to that process. The more you do that, the better you'll be. Now that I know all these things, now that I acquired all this knowledge and I'm using application, I was able to settle everything out, move to Philadelphia. Why? I don't damn know. Okay? That's another thing. He will relocate you if he needs to. And now I'm figuring out my life, and it's so much easier knowing what's going on with me. As I wrap this video up, that is what you need to do to be able to go through your Saturn return a little bit smoother. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be so hard. It all depends on you and how you want to think about this and how you want to go about it. Surrender, and you'll be good. I promise you. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. If you want me to talk more about astrology and everything like that, I can do that. Spirituality, I can do that. Niggas, I can do that. Let me go. Bye, y'all. I love you.